Imagine a thinker whose ideas shaped science, politics, and philosophy for centuries, a mind so vast that even today we rely on his logic, ethics, and observations about the world. That thinker was Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, whose influence stretches across multiple disciplines, from biology to politics, from logic to poetry. He was a student of Plato, the teacher of Alexander the Great, and the founder of the Lyceum, an institution that would compete with Plato's academy and define the future of education. Aristotle was born in 384 BCE in Stagira, a small town in northern Greece. His father, Nicomachus, was a court physician to the king of Macedonia, which gave Aristotle an early connection to the ruling elite. This connection would later play a significant role in his life, linking him to Alexander the Great. However, Aristotle lost both of his parents at a young age, and he was raised by a guardian. At the age of 17, Aristotle traveled to Athens, the intellectual capital of the Greek world, to study at Plato's academy. He would remain there for 20 years, first as a student and later as a teacher. This period shaped much of his thinking. Aristotle focused on the observable world, laying the groundwork for the scientific method. Aristotle and Plato, student to critic. Although Aristotle was Plato's most famous student, he often disagreed with him. Plato believed in a world of perfect, abstract forms, while Aristotle focused on the physical world, emphasizing observation and classification. In contrast to Plato's Republic, which envisioned a society led by philosopher kings, Aristotle preferred studying real political systems to improve them. This shift from idealism to empirical observation distinguished Aristotle's approach from his teachers. Aristotle's time in Macedonia and Alexander the Great. After Plato's death in 347 BCE, Aristotle left Athens and was invited to Macedonia to tutor a young prince, Alexander, later known as Alexander the Great. Though Alexander became a legendary military leader, Aristotle's influence was intellectual, shaping his appreciation for learning in other cultures. As Alexander grew more powerful and embraced divine status, their relationship faded and Aristotle returned to Athens. The Lyceum, Aristotle's own school. In 335 BCE, Aristotle founded the Lyceum in Athens, a school focused on philosophy, science, politics, and logic. He and his students discussed ideas while walking through its gardens, leading to the name Peripatetic School, from Greek peripatetikos, meaning walking around. Aristotle emphasized observation and classification, systematically studying animals, plants, and political systems, laying the groundwork for various scientific fields. Aristotle's major works and contributions. Aristotle's writings covered a vast range of subjects, including logic, biology, ethics, politics, and metaphysics. Some of his most famous works include Nicomachean Ethics, his exploration of what it means to live a good life, and the idea of the golden mean, balancing between excess and deficiency. Politics, a study of different forms of government and how they function, emphasizing a mixed government as the best system. Metaphysics, a deep dive into the nature of reality, being, and existence, where he introduces the idea of the unmoved mover, a divine force that initiates motion in the universe. Poetics, the first known work of literary theory, analyzing tragedy, drama, and storytelling. Organon, a collection of works on logic, where he formalized deductive reasoning and introduced the syllogism, a method of logical argumentation. His empirical approach influenced later scientific and philosophical developments, forming the backbone of Western intellectual tradition. Aristotle's later years and death. In 323 BCE, when Alexander the Great died, Athens saw a shift in power, and anti-Macedonian sentiment grew. As a former tutor of Alexander, Aristotle faced suspicion and political pressure. To avoid a fate similar to Socrates, who had been sentenced to death, Aristotle fled to Chalcis, a city in northern Greece. He reportedly said, "I will not allow the Athenians to sin twice against philosophy." A year later, in 322 BCE, Aristotle died at the age of 62. Despite his exile, his intellectual legacy endured through his students and writings. Aristotle's legacy. Aristotle's impact on philosophy, science, and education is immeasurable. His work influenced medieval scholars, Islamic philosophers, Renaissance thinkers, and even modern science. His logical methods laid the groundwork for rational inquiry, and his ideas on ethics, government, and the natural world remain relevant today. From Plato's Academy to Aristotle's Lyceum, from Alexander the Great's conquest to modern science and philosophy, Aristotle's influence stretches across time and disciplines. His pursuit of knowledge and deep inquiry into the world continue to inspire thinkers, proving that his wisdom is as relevant today as it was over 2,000 years ago. This is just the beginning of Aristotle's philosophical journey. In the next video, we will dive deeper into his metaphysics, his exploration of reality, substance, and the unmoved mover. Stay tuned.